Hi, it's Chris Watkin back again with James Dearsley. James, are the CRMs and the portals slowly killing UK estate agency? Talk to me.
Oh, big question.
Do you know why I say that?
No, go on.
If you think about it, estate agency is quite simple. It's all about getting properties on the market,
Yeah,
and then selling the bloody things.
Mhm.
Okay, and the portals are paid for by estate agents, but estate agents judge the portals very much on whether they can get them the leads, the vendor and landlord leads. When in reality, the job of the portal is to put the property in front of as many people as possible, but the portals sell themselves on getting the leads. When in reality, estate agents should be not using the thing that supplies the buyers to get them vendors. And then the second thing, and again, shoot me down because we don't want. And the other one is this: is the portal, the CRM. Start again. The other is the portals. In the fact is that in the good old days we used to have hot boxes, and now when you register someone, you go into the CRM and then go into the big black hole, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
And we don't work our buyers. That's what I'm thinking.
It's a really tricky question because let's be reflective for a minute. The CRMs and the portals have been so good for our industry.
Okay.
So let's not forget that. But
good in what respect?
Good in the respect that I think they, to a large extent, have aided the businesses going forward. But in the wrong hand, let me just finish on that. In the wrong hands, I think they can be very bad. So going back, I remember Foxtons built their own CRM system called BOSS, very imaginatively named Business Operating System, and it revolutionized the way that Foxtons did their business. And I've been on record many times before saying the strength of Foxtons in the sort of the tens were as a response to the stuff they put in the early 2000s. So CRM, worked brilliantly well if you were willing to work with it back in the day. Let me skip forward to what I think about it, where we are now. Portals, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. They are causing a slow strangulation of our sector. I think they are the estate agency equivalent of heroin. You cannot get off them. And it's been a slow sort of transition to a complete and utter dependency on it. Is it a bad thing?
It's created a level playing field that one man band, one woman band can go on the same platform than Savills and things like that.
But you can still be a really poor estate agency, even if you're on them. And I remember years and years back when it was the Sunday Times Awards that Peter Knight used to put on before it all came out, the EA Masters. I remember the mystery shopping we used to do when we were the judges awarding different things. And I was shocked then, and I'm still shocked now, by the level of incompetence that we have when it comes to responding to inquiries from portals. So the portals, they do the job that you're asking them to, but you can still be a really poor estate agent if you're not following up the lead. So I still think that we have a challenge with portals moving forward, and any estate agent needs to wake up if they can't realise the threat that not Rightmove, because I don't think Rightmove can do it, but a Zoopla could do, given the fact that the dependency that Zoopla, for example, has on agency revenues coming in. They could very easily pivot. And it hasn't been proven successful in other jurisdictions around the world that going direct to consumer in terms of the actual listing of property directly. But it can happen, and I expect it to happen. Over the next 5 years, the role of the portal will change because they have the name recognition. Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market, all of those teams have got name recognition with the customer, which I don't think, with the exception of hyperlocal estate agents, have. So there's a massive, monumental threat to portals that will come in, and quite rightly so.
But people have said that for years, saying Rightmove will never cut their nose off despite their face. And
they can't. Rightmove can't do it. They suffer the innovator's dilemma, which is they have too much dependency on agency fees coming in. Something like 80+% of all of their profitability come from agency fees doing it. So they couldn't, because they're market listed, go to the market and say, right, we're now testing direct to market. It happened elsewhere. It happened in America. Massive failure on Zillow's part. They couldn't do it. Share price tanked, absolute failure of monumental proportions. Rightmove can't do that.
Because they're addicted to the fees coming in from agents.
Well, not necessarily they are, but the market is addicted to it, so they can't risk that. But other portals can do it.
I mean, Zoopla's not listed, so they can
do what they want. So but again, what we've got to remember is stop thinking short-termism. What we have to do as an industry is look long-term at the customers. What do the customers want now and forever? Look at values and brand and innovation, all that sort of stuff. Those portals have much more better. What is that? Much better brand recognition than a lot of agencies.
Do you think if you were like on the market, I mean, although that they are agent owned, but if you were Zoopla, that's what you would do if you were running that? If you were Charlie
as
Bond?
a leader, 100%. It'd be hard, and it'd be very expensive, it'd be difficult to do. But yes, if I was not listed on the stock market, I had private money behind me, I would do it. And there's several different ways. So it's not a binary thing. I would do this, I would do that. But there are many more ways of listing properties and selling properties from around the world that have been tried and tested, haven't necessarily worked yet, but they could work if you weren't necessarily publicly listed. But CRM, just to finish it off.
Yeah, that's what I want to come on to.
CRM is slightly different in the sense of I think there's still that same dependency, but different.
Because, there's some wonderful CRMs out there, your Salesforces of this world and your HubSpots. I mean, with some very innovative things that you can plug in and do wonderful things with.
Yeah.
And I know you've got your Repits of this world with your foundations, which supposedly open API, but it all seems to be a bit slow and stodgy.
But is that the tech or is that the people?
I don't know.
I think it's a difficult one. I have followed the CRM market in a big way. I'm a big advocate for it, but you put shit in, you get shit out. It's as simple as that. And I think you have to be reliant on the input from people.
Do you think a lot of people blame, there's people that swap CRMs, when in reality it all comes down to Floss and Jim actually putting in decent stuff when they're typing it in? Is that what you're saying?
I think not all of it, obviously, but a lot of it does. And I go back to the time when it was an agent hotbox to bring back your example right from the start. They were fantastic times. You couldn't miss anything. I remember sitting there, next to, it was Tim Hassel, actually, who's now at my friend. Sitting there with him, it was the worst moment of my week. I would sit there and he would analyze my hotbox as we went through it, and he'd say, "What about this one?" And I'd have to recount it off memory, what was going on. You don't get that same level of personalization with CRM. It's not saying that you can't, but you just have to change your managerial style to reflect how the CRM works. So I like CRMs. I don't like the dependency we have, because I think it gives you a sort of an aura of weak leadership that allows leaders to get away with it as well. And I think if you improve the leadership and you improve the sort of people working with the CRMs and working with rather than against that sort of technology, I see no reason why that isn't going to last and could develop further.
So coming back, the original question was, are CRMs and portals ruining estate agency? By the sounds of it, they're probably just more of a symptom. In reality, it's the people working in the business, the leadership, the direction, the management is probably the bigger issue, and we've become addicted to these, and we need to wean ourselves off.
I think, as with anything, there is poor technology and there are poor people.
Thank you for your time today.
All right.